Mobile money is changing the financial transacting by it being easily accessible to the unbanked or underbanked traders, farmers, small to medium-sized businesses, as well as migrant workers who send remittances throughout developing and emerging economies. To tell us more about this financial transaction is the director of Solstice Founders of Mobile Money, and it's Maurizio Santamicone.
Thanks for having me.
I love that surname. It's such a beautiful name. Welcome to the program. Okay, mobile money. What is this?
What is it? It's the provision of financial services to a mobile device, ranging from the simplest feature phone, only text-only phone, to the most sophisticated smartphone or iPad. So what we have done over these last few years is facilitating our clients into Africa, especially. And what they do, consumers can use it to pay their bills, purchase tickets for the events, like the Bushfire Festival in Swaziland, for example. Also, we operated in Uganda and Botswana. They can pay their bills, they can pay taxes, pay for insurance. So,
how do you load? Okay, let's just start from the basics again. So, I mean, I've got a cell phone, like I think every other South African, and you know, I don't think that's an exaggeration. They don't only have one. There's 2 or 3 devices for some people, and I can use my phone as money. Is that the idea? Definitely.
You subscribe to one of the providers. They can be either banks or some mobile network operators who offer this service.
So we're talking internet banking as well?
Internet banking is different because it's using your banking services through the phone.
Okay,
no?
So this is
mobile money is more doing purchases, like assuming you want to replace your credit card, for example. So in your phone you can have one or more mobile wallets where you can store your money and use them to do all sorts of transactions.
Okay. How has the uptake been in South Africa? I mean, it's been around for a few years now.
Well, actually, the first service was launched in 2004 by Wizard.
So that's 10 years old.
We must say not great.
Okay.
With our company also, together with UCT, we had a survey last year, and in the metropolitan townships in Cape Town. And it came out first that almost 50% of the people had never heard about it. Among all the owners of mobile phones, less than 20% they use it to do any sort of financial transaction. So there can be many reasons around this.
What are the reasons? Is it a safety issue?
Trust is one of the issues. But usually, let's say there is supply side issues, demand side issues. On the supply side, yes, before the transaction cost was quite high, so it was expensive, not really convenient. But now that one is gradually coming down. On the demand side, I will say there were some barriers, informational barriers. People don't really know what it is about. Yes, you see these campaigns, you see billboards, but how is the process? How does it work? How do you register, and then you can start putting money into it, and then you can spend it, and you can cash in, cash out? This has not really been explained.
So it's the education that's not good enough.
Actually, one of the focuses on this mobile money conference that finished just yesterday was not much on technology, not more on what we can do with it, but why is it not working? Why has it worked so well in some countries and in other countries it's not working? And it comes out that it's actually education is one of the main issues. And we at Solstice, we believe that we can take this one step further and start educating not only the consumers, but also kids. This comes from some research that we had, that kids, they are big users of mobile devices. You know about that.
We do know this.
Plus, they receive allowances from the parents, for their grandparents to spend their money. So we believe that by educating them to use this money in a way that is smart, financially smart, but also wise, it enables a saving culture. So what they can do with this application is called FlipTin. They can receive money allowance, then they can allocate it to some goals. For example, the kid wants to buy a bike or buy movie tickets or purchase anything else. And if he shows that over time he can allocate wisely money amongst these goals, when he reaches these goals, he gets rewarded for it. So it's also not to push them to spend all they have immediately on some, let's call them temptation goods, like buying chocolate, sweets. No?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is educating, because also researchers show that, no, for example, poor people, no, when they use the money for to buy groceries, food for the families, no, as soon as they have, as soon as they have a little bit more available, they tend to spend it on temptation goods.
Yes.
For adults, of course, this is not sweets, but it's alcohol and tobacco and so on, you know. So we think that education must start from the early age.
Well, it's really, really important. I mean, I look at you know, in my own home, with the lady who works for me, you know, she wants to send money home, but it is for her a big deal because she's got to get her salary, then go to the nearest shopping centre. I mean, I think she uses these funds, whether it be in Checkers or whichever those branches are, then transfer the money, but they still take money off of what she's transferring and then move it into another account, then move it there. And so, but meantime, there are facilities that can actually make life so easy that she got it on herself and she could send it to her son or whoever is living at home, and they can buy groceries that way.
That's how mobile money all started.
And is it fully active here in South Africa? It's working, it's there, we can utilize it, but the education's not there. Is that my understanding from
Not really. You know, that's how it all started. Mobile money started with exactly what you mentioned now, with remittances.
Yeah.
Workers in the cities, remitting funds to the home, especially in rural areas where bank facilities are not available. Why?
Absolutely.
Because it's too expensive to set up a branch, it has security issues, and banks are not really interested in, they are more interested in the middle class, not really interested in the lower classes. They don't have business models that allow them to handle large volumes of small transactions. And that's where the more the mobile networks operators come in, because they work like that. You know, a large number of transactions, but small. And what it's very easy to deploy these facilities for them, because all you need is to be connected to the network, and then you can cash in, cash out your money anywhere, in a spaza shop, in a liquor store, in a petrol station, in a hairdresser, wherever where you buy or sell airtime. So it's very useful, especially for the rural areas.
Yeah.
And remember that although South Africa is people in South Africa are banked. Statistics show that more than 70% of the people are banked. But there are still more than 10 million people in South Africa, especially in rural areas, totally unbanked. So this technology can actually be disruptive for them. And I was reading 2 days ago a report from London Institute for Overseas Payments, where they say that remittances to Africa, they cost twice as much than the world average. If this transaction cost could be brought down to the world average, it could save enough money to pay school fees for 13 million kids into Africa. That gives you an idea of how disruptive this technology can be.
Amazing. Really interesting. Something we need to look more into. I think we need to do an insert or something, because it's a big story and it's the way of the future. Maurizio Santamicone, thank you very much for joining us, Director of Solstice.
Thanks a lot.
Just quickly, the rest of the world take into this? Do they
the
use
developed
this?
world goes more towards more sophisticated services.
Okay.
You know, ticketing, purchasing. For example, one thing that is disruptive that in South Africa, one of the reasons why in South Africa it's not working also because the private sector is not really coming to the party. My government can play a big role. If you think about transport, from the how train to the Rea Vaya to the bus, minibus taxi industry. Remember, in Zambia or Zimbabwe, you can pay your minibus taxi ride with mobile money. Why can't you do it in South Africa?
Absolutely. No, we've got to move faster on this. Thanks for talking to us.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure.
All right. So